Well, guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, listen. One of the things I believe young men need to be taught nowadays, or something that needs to be pounded into their head, is to not be loose with their genitalia. If you know what I mean, don't have a bunch of babies. And you have to be careful of who you put your seed in. And that's real, man. There's so many kids out here where people just reproduce without no plan. And this story right here, man, let's just jump into it. Let me introduce you to the dumbass of the day. Boom, there she go. This chick right here is from Indianapolis, Indiana. Shout out. And her name is Chantel Gardner. She's 33 years old. And this juggernaut female is got a story that's crazy. And it goes along some of the things I talk about on here, where you have neglectful people. You know, a lot of times, you know, is women, because they usually had the children, that choose dick over their own damn kids. This woman right here is currently locked up because her 2-year-old daughter by the name of Skylar Gardner, may she rest in peace, this past Saturday died in the house unsupervised because she was out there with her boyfriend at his house. And if that's not bad enough, it wasn't an honest mistake. It was willful error. And the stuff I'm about to read you is going to knock you back into your seat. Let's look at the video first. Let's get it.
She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
A mother is now facing charges over the death of her child. We'll break down this case coming up right here on your News at 5. We start first this afternoon with this 2-year-old daughter found dead over the weekend. And that begins our newscast here at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Beershell Edman.
And I'm Dan Spieler. Fox 59's Jesse Wells got a hold of court records today that detail just how this case came to light.
Police were first called to this apartment building behind me by the victim's mother, who reported finding her daughter unresponsive under a dresser. Court records claim that mother admitted to neglecting her kids, who were living in filth. Here on the ground floor of this apartment building near Shadeland and Fall Creek, 2-year-old Skylar Gardner died Saturday night. Police claim the little girl and her young sibling were living in horrific conditions, with the apartment floor and walls covered in feces amidst a stench of rotting food. According to this affidavit, the girl's mother, Chantel Gardner, told police she left her young children home alone for several hours every day and night while she spent time at her boyfriend's house.
Clearly, the state has a good case to show that she was neglect of a dependent.
Attorney Mario Masalamani isn't connected to the case, but says while Indiana law doesn't specify an exact age at which a child can be left home alone, parents can be charged with neglect if they abandon their children, deprive them of necessary support, or leave them in a situation that endangers their life.
The law doesn't specify a specific age because the law doesn't want to specify an age. In this situation, you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Clearly, they're not able to stay by themselves.
Police say Gardner confessed she came back to the apartment once a day to feed her 2 kids and often found them covered in feces. Gardner admitted she knew she was neglecting her kids, but insisted she never physically harmed the children herself.
So in neglect of a dependent, you don't have to show that she intentionally tried to harm them. She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
While it's not clear exactly how the 2-year-old girl died, doctors at Riley Hospital say they found a large puncture wound to her neck, and her whole body was covered in bruises. Finally, the suspect is being held on a $100,000 bond. She's due in court for an initial hearing later this week. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
Those new court documents say 2-year-old Skylar Gardner may have been dead for several hours before she was found, and her body was full of bruises and injuries.
Tragic to think about the victim here.
A young victim who family says has such a bright smile and personality.
And unfortunately, that was that flame was put out too soon.
Saturday night, police say Skylar's mother called them after she found Skylar unresponsive under a dresser. Court documents say once officers got inside the apartment, they found trash, human feces, steak knives, and soiled items scattered around. When Skylar was taken to the hospital, doctors found a large puncture wound to her neck.
This life deserved to have fulfilled who knows how old, and lived a wonderful life, brought brightness into everyone's lives.
Documents reveal when Skylar's mother and her boyfriend talked with police, they both said she would spend the night at her place every night, leaving Skylar and her older brother alone in the apartment. The mother also said she would only check on the two once a day, only to bring them food and a drink, and they would be dirty. The mother denied abusing the children, but said she knew she was neglecting them.
We're the only ones in the society, adults, that can be the advocate for these children, to have a voice.
IMPD says in cases like this, it's important for other family members to be aware of any abuse or neglect and report it immediately.
Please reach out to 911, contact the police. We will get you resources. It's not criminal to ask for help, and we want you to do so.
So another child doesn't lose their life to neglect. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
As you just seen that sick video, now check out this article, man. This is crazy. It says, mom arrested after 2-year-old found dead covered in bruises in a northeast side apartment in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it says, an Indianapolis mom faces charges after her daughter was found dead and cold to the touch inside their home Saturday evening, according to Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. The Marion County's coroner office on Monday identified the girl as Skylar Gardner, age 2. A probable cause affidavit shared with News 8 says officers were called to 33-year-old Chantel Gardner's apartment in the 6300 block of Newberry Road on the northeast side around 6:30 Saturday night for a death investigation. Their police learned from Chantel Gardner that she's been making dinner and called her 2 young children, both under the age of 5, to come eat. Gardner says her son came to eat, but 2-year-old Skylar didn't. Chantel Gardner then searched the home and found her daughter unresponsive and cold to the touch underneath a dresser. After this, she said she picked her son up, ran outside, and called 911. She also called her boyfriend, Brian Thomas, and asked him to come to the apartment. Police performed a protective sweep of the apartment while on scene and observed trash scattered, human feces, steak knives, and soiled items on the floor to the point that it was not visible, meaning the floor was so dirty they couldn't see the floor. There was so much trash on it. According to court documents, there was also a strong smell of rotting food throughout and feces covering the wall and furniture. Emergency services arrived and found Skylar Gardner, who was cold, adding that rigor mortis had already set in. While physically examining the girl, court documents say officials noted bruises and other injuries on the child's face, arms, legs, back, and vagina. They also found a large puncture wound in her neck. Detectives later spoke to Chantel Gardner and Brian Thomas at the IMPD Child Abuse Office. Thomas told police that Chantel Gardner spent the night at his place every night, but the kids are not with her. The children only came to his place once a week at the most, court documents say. Thomas was released from custody. When Chantel Gardner spoke with detectives, she said that she knew she neglected her daughter. She told investigators she would leave her children home for several hours every day, but would check on them once a day and bring them food and drink. She added that she would find feces on her children's hands and feet, and that she last bathed one of the children a week and a half ago, if not 2 weeks ago. She denied ever sexually assaulting or physically harming her children, according to the affidavit. She said her daughter's vagina was sore from her diapers or from not having her diaper changed. Chantel Gardner then acknowledged that she neglected her daughter but never physically harmed her. She was then arrested on a charge of neglect of a dependent resulting in death. She was booked in the Marion County Jail as of Monday. Bond information has not been set. Chantel Gardner was due in court for a hearing, will be due in court on a hearing on Tuesday morning. That is sinful. Absolutely sinful. That shit made me mad as hell. When I seen that, that made me mad as hell. See, there's a big difference between an honest mistake and willful error. That right there was a premeditated fuck up and a big fuck you to our own damn kids. But then again, what do you expect when you deal with the juggernaut mindset in a female? I told you before, juggernaut real, juggernaut dangerous. This woman right here, Chantel Gardner, perfect example at 33 fucking years old, a mother of two. Species name. Juggernautess, hot in the butters, the selfish, horny kind. She'll leave the babies at home when the ding-a-ling roam. How selfish can you be? What kind of man can build with someone like that? You don't take care of your kids. Ones that you birthed. You have no love for them, so how can you have love for me? And that guy ain't shit neither. We'll get to that in a second. Selfish woman. You choose dick over your own damn kids and act like it was nothing. Then when you got busted, you look stupid as hell, because now there you are in the corner. You got to explain why the fuck a 3 and a 2-year-old are home by themselves and now one of them's dead with a dresser on top of them. Did you see what they said in the thing? She came in and started making food. You got a 3 and 2-year-old there, and the house, the floor covered in so much garbage you can't see, and shit all over the walls and furniture, and all of a sudden you call and don't check on them. Shouldn't even be in that position in the first place. What they say? Cleanliness is next to godliness. This is an ungodly motherfucker right here. Ain't nothing but the devil. Let's keep it the fuck real here. Let's keep it real. Our baby's gone. She neglected her responsibilities. And I'm saying it. Where the fuck was the dude? You got 2 stair-step kids. You couldn't take them to nobody, which brings me to point number motherfucking 2. You couldn't get a babysitter? Where your people at? You had 2 babies without no support system? Where the fuck the dad at? You couldn't take them over there? See, that's the thing. That's why I'm not feeling this shit. Them kids was suffering. Didn't even know it. Been on the planet 3 and 2 years and still trying to explore life and learn. They don't even know they fucked up in a fucked up situation. But you did, and you allowed it. Never looked at the house and said, God damn, I got to clean this place up. And this is another thing. The house stink. The house dirty. What that say about you? What that say about that nigga you laying with? Yeah, I said nigga, we gonna keep it real today. This is bullshit. It's the same damn stories all the fucking time. Then they get caught. They had that dumbass look on their face. I knew I was good. Boot a fat ass right to the gallows right now. Don't pay no red cent of taxpayer dollars. You fucked up. You know you did. You baby dead. You ain't give a fuck. You didn't see you was heading to oblivion. Get her the fuck out of here. Get her out of here. And everybody else that acts like that, get them out. Listen. A lot of children come from broken households. That's why you're seeing all this random violence and all this other bullshit that's going on around here right now, where kids don't care about nothing and nobody and doing some of the strangest shit you see in the street. Violence at a new height. Why? Because that's what they was experienced too. Said the baby had bruises all over her damn body, hands, feet, legs, vagina. Oh, that's because the diaper. You ain't washed your kids for 2.5 weeks, but you was washing your fat ass? What kind of man lays with somebody like that? What kind of man can build with somebody like that? I ask you. Tell me right now what would make that right. It's nothing she can do or say to make you say, you know what, damn, I can understand that. I feel bad. You should have asked for help. Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. Seriously. You come in the house, your baby under the dresser, you see the baby, don't run to A, grab your son, run out and call that same nigga that you fucking taking dick from. Come over here. This shit bothers me, man. I mean, it really bothers me. I mean, you do these stories and shit, this shit just give you a headache. Give you a headache. You 33 years old. You know how to take care of your own interests, self-interest, but not the interests of your children who you're responsible for. That's sinful, and it's no excuse. She didn't want them damn kids in the first fucking place. Proof of it is how she left them in the house like dogs in a cage, covered in their own shit and piss. I want you to think about that. You fed these babies one time a day while you laid up in the bed with your legs cocked open for some dude that don't give a fuck about you or your fucking kids. And he's a nasty motherfucker too. Let's keep it real, because I'm telling you, if you are in a shitty house, you smell like your house. You know what I'm saying? You can wash all you want, but the funk is real. This motherfucker laid with her. I wish I put him up. He laid with her. It be some ungodly chicks out here and some ungodly Peter Pan type dudes. And it be people willing to lay with them. And that's the problem. She didn't want them kids in the first place. She wanted her old life because the dependency of the kids took time away from her doing what she wanted to do with him or whoever. Or whoever. You got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, so you was 29 when you conceived. You was on the planet long enough to understand. And you made a conscious decision to have them babies. Whether the guy was in your life or not. Because I would think you had a plan, but the way your house is and all this other shit, you ain't got no goddamn plan. The only plan you got is to get dug out. And I know it sounds vicious, but it's just a vicious damn story. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. If that was my daughter, I'd bust her head wide open like I ain't even know her. I would. We didn't teach you that. The fuck is wrong with you? Let's go to the dude real quick before I get out of here. What kind of man, hear me? Know the kids be over his house sometime. You know them kids looking nasty. It ain't like she cleaned them up and then brought them over your house. You knew them kids was nasty. Might have been, this is what I'm honestly thinking. I'm thinking he ain't want to deal with them kids. They not his kids. She knew it. He like, yo, go home with them kids. Get a babysitter with kids. She probably lying, saying she got a babysitter and coming over there. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that before. But I will tell you this, man. That dude seen her house and he still wifed it. That say a lot about you. Say a lot about you. A man try to find a woman to complete him. And if it's sexual, then it's just sexual. But they got a title. So obviously, that's who he chose to build with. That's what he chose to build with. And she ain't give a damn. You feeding these kids one time a goddamn day, but your motherfucking Porky Pig looking ass didn't miss no motherfucking meals. And neither did that dude. This is sad all the way around. And stuff like this need to be called out and they need to be made examples of. Take her outside and give a fat ass to Joan of Arc right now till she smell like bacon grease. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Children don't ask to be here and they don't pick their parents. And nowadays it's like playing Russian roulette with the mindset of some people out here. This is truly fucked up. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.